What is up, guys? Welcome to the channel. My name is Brad and this is Operation N64. Now in this series we're trying to build an N64 collection starting off with just £10 by using our charity shops, our car boot sales, Facebook Marketplace, looking for stuff for cheap that we can sell for a profit to build a game fund to buy N64 bangers. So in the last episode I introduced you to my Operation N64 list here, and we managed to chalk off our first game on that list, and it is Road Rash 64. I'm in love with this thing. It is minty. It is so good to finally pick up N64 games. Chuffed to bits to have this. I also asked you guys to make 5 suggestions of some games I should add. Let's bring this bad boy down. So yeah, first off, chalked off number 9. Look at that. It's banging. But I also asked you guys to make some suggestions of what I should add to the list. Your subscriber picks. So I picked 5 out of the bunch. DK Racing, which I have car already, so I only need box and manual. F-Zero X, WWF No Mercy, which I also have car only, so I only need box and manual. Mystical Ninja, which funnily enough was almost on the list anyway, so yeah, great to add that in. And then Pokemon Snap, which I also have car only. So that will save a little bit on expenses there. I won't have to pay out full price. I could just pick up the box and manual, which is great. But yeah, thanks you guys for your suggestions. Great to add them to the list. Now, with regards to the game fund, we have made a few sales this week. We sold that brand new copy of Bolt for £4.99. We sold that Kiki's delivery service, the brand new copy of that, for £8.99. We sold the Ace Combat bundle and 3 games for the PS2 for £15. We sold a loose copy of Wii Sports for £6.99 free postage. And we also sold that Forza Horizon 4 for £7. So after fees and everything, we got a grand total of this to add to the game fund for a grand total of this. Not too bad. It's nice to stay around that £100 mark, which is great. Plus, we've also got that CEX fund, which we started last week, which we haven't touched yet, which is awesome. So let's get out and do what I love best. Let's go hunting. Let's go. And we are back with another epic voiceover. Yeah, guys, back on the Operation N64 this week. Trying to find stuff to try and sell on. Now, I struggled quite a bit to find any games really underpriced that were worth anything. I'd love to know in the comments below what sort of stuff you guys look for to try and sell to build up funds to buy games, so that I've got more options. I've had some good suggestions in the past, like football shirts and stuff like that. But yeah, anything else you guys look out for, let me know in the comments below so that I can keep my eyes peeled too. We did find this PS2, this 007 sealed game for the PS2, which was cool. Always checking in Wii Fit boxes as I do. But yeah, nothing really in here, which was a real shame because I've had some luck in here in the past. I've had a crack in finding here once. But yeah, not this time. You can't get lucky every time, Brad. You've got to understand that. But yeah, I found one game in here, so not too bad. And we're back in my favourite charity shop again. I'm always in here. They're probably getting sick of seeing me. Single PS4 game here for £1.50. Wasn't really worth picking up. But I did find then a PS1 game. Got called out last week for not finding any, but I found one this week. Yeah, the Italian Job. I think I'll keep this for myself because it's not that got a great deal of value. So I just hold on to it. I'm always picking these PS1 games up if I find them. I then popped out the back, as I do. I'm getting quite friendly with them now. Actually bought him some chocolates the other day just to say thank you for letting me come out the back. He had a little stack of games here, nothing really worth it, but always good to go back there and check. They did pull out a couple of PS3 games then. This Agatha Christie, sorry, I like the look of this, so I picked this up for myself. Not got any value, but I like these sort of games. And they then pulled out a couple of PS3 games here. The Last of Us is trading in for about £8, so I had to pick these 2 up. And then he brought this box out again, which had quite a lot of the same sort of things in, a lot of leapfrog games, but they had one of them Borderlands 2, the sealed copies, they had one of them left, so I thought I'd pick it up because I managed to sell the last one for about £13, so not too bad. Left the Braves behind because mine is still on eBay, not sold, so I didn't want to have any more. But yeah, here we are, 4 games here for £6. It's £1.50 a game. So guys, we're just in Port Talbot, about to hit the charity shops. While I'm here, I'm going to do a CEX trade, build that CEX fund up a little bit. I've got some box sets here that just aren't selling, and I don't want them to drop too much in value, so I'm going to trade them in now. One of them is that Oran High School Host Club, and the other one is that Messiah box set. I've also got a little stack of them PS2 games I picked up a couple episodes ago. Little stack of 5 games here. I'm just going to trade them in, taking up too much space, a bit of hassle, so I'm just going to trade them in. And then also I picked up a couple of PS3 games the other day. I paid £1.50 each for them, so we need to deduct that from the game fund. But we've got that the Lord of the Rings, Lego Lord of the Rings, and The Last of Us. Hopefully there's about maybe 30 quid in value here, we'll see. But yeah, just wanted to let you guys know, so let's go check the charity shops. Let's go. So we were back in Port Talbot. I've had a lot of luck here in the past finding sealed Xbox One games for £1. Pretty dry this week. I did see a couple of box sets here. They leave these outside, which is mad. But yeah, this one looked kind of interesting. It's worth about 5 or 6 quid. But for £2, I didn't pick it up. I just didn't want to sit on it really. I had a couple of other box sets here, but nothing worth picking up. A bunch of wrestling figures here. They are newer, £1 a piece. Any of you wrestling fans have got a ton in this charity shop in Port Talbot. I stopped myself from going into the retro stash because I am going to the SCGC here in Swansea on the 14th of May, and he is going to be there, so I didn't want to go in and see everything and like sort of ruin it for myself before I go to the convention on Sunday. A few games in here, nothing to write home about, bunch of PS2 and Xbox 360 stuff. I think I pulled 1 or 2 games out to have a look at. The Lord of the Rings here, The Return of the King. It didn't have its manual. I think it was 2 quid a game as well, so I didn't bother. The FIFA Street 2, they had a 5 on it. I don't know if that's an old sticker, but I didn't bother asking. The Sims here, Platinum Edition. I just didn't pick any of these up. The Piglet game, it's worth about 4 quid. But I just didn't pick any of these up. I didn't see them selling. There were no real valuable games here. I was sort of holding out at this point that I might find something better, so I left a lot of this behind. But not worth picking up really anyway. Struggling to get the draw in, Brad. Come on, mate. So I popped into CEX to do that trade that I talked about earlier. They had one boxed N64 game, and it was GoldenEye, which is on my list. But this is the player choice. And I'd rather not get player choice boxes. I'll look at the original boxes if I can. They also had this Tombi, is that how you say it? Tombi 2, 135, quite a pricey game there. Nothing in the window. This is a really small CEX in Port Talbot, but I still like to pop in there now and again. Like I said, £31 they give me for all that stuff, which is great. So we've got well over £50 in credit so far. And then, as I was heading out last charity shop, I see this, man. Come on, what have I said before about manga, DVDs? They have value, and there is a ton here. Like someone's whole collection. Crazy. So I asked the woman, and she managed to price them up for me. She did a really good deal. I managed to pick all of these up and that game for like 16 quid, which is banging. We'll try our best to try and sell this stuff on, but it has quite a bit of trade-in value as well, so we're going to win either way. So that was mental. I thought Port Talbot was a bust, and then we find that huge manga collection. I paid £16 for all of that stuff. We're going to go through it when we get home, but I think we've got some real gems. We then headed back to Swansea, and the first charity shop we see is someone's WWE collection. What is going on? 2 collections in one day. There was a ton here. I went through them all, scanned them all up. A lot of them didn't have a great deal of value, but 1 or 2 of them, I think I picked up 6 in the end, had some value, so I had to grab them. I then shared on Instagram that there was a ton in there, so hopefully one of you guys went there and grabbed them for yourselves to add to your collection, because there was a load there. Very cool to see. A lot of it kind of newer. Not really my era, but still cool to see this. And like I said, there we are. I picked up, I think, was it 5 for £3. He ended up charging me 33 pence for the single DVDs, which is great. But yeah, £3 for these 5 DVDs is great. Into this charity shop, if you guys remember this one from last week, they had an empty Pokemon Moon. Someone had pinched it. They thought it was me. It wasn't me. But they had a ton of games in here again. They do £3 a game. Depending on what you find, that's not a bad price. But for a lot of these Wii games, you know, they're only about 5 or 6 quid, if that. So I'm not picking them up for £3 to make £1 or £2. I'm maybe I used to do that sort of thing, but at the moment with a fund, a budget in hand, I don't want to tie up my money in stuff that's got very little value, if that makes sense. I'd rather try and pick stuff up really cheap that has, 5-10 quid's worth of value, on top, stuff like that. So yeah, like I said, I don't want to tie my money up in this sort of thing. I want to triple, quadruple my money, which is maybe greedy and maybe not the way to go about it, but it's worked for me so far, so I'll keep going. But if you guys are interested, this charity shop in town has a bunch of Wii games. They did have a Wii Sports in this box, like I said, always check. There is one in there. But for £3, like I said, I'm not picking it up. I sell this on for like £7, free delivery most of the time, quite regularly. So after fees and postage, I'm only making a couple of quid. And on our way out, we popped to CX, and look at that. It's Conker's Bad Fur Day. That's on our list. We can't afford it just yet. It's £210 boxed. It weren't in too bad condition, to be fair. I popped inside to have a look at the other side of the window to see if they had any other boxed N64 games, and the only one they had was this. Is it Rogue Squadron? Is that what it's called? Yeah, Rogue Squadron, which is not on our list. And we are back, and what a mad week it's been. I struggled a bit this week to find any games, but I found a ton of other stuff that should potentially get us a load of profit. We saw 2 full collections, a full WWE collection and a full manga collection, all donated to the charity shops, and we got some really good prices on this stuff. It's absolutely crazy. I spent a total of £22.50 this week, so we can deduct that from the game fund, but I also did a CEX trade, so we can add £31 to the CEX fund, which is looking quite healthy now. I'm wondering whether to just hold off on that, keep adding to it in dribs and drabs, try and potentially get it up to like a couple £100, and then pick up one of the big boys, like Resident Evil or even Conker's Bad Fur Day, which we saw as well this week, but unfortunately our budget isn't quite there yet to pick that game up. But yeah, hopefully we can get a nice healthy CES credit to buy one of the big boys. But anyway, let's get into what we picked up this week. I'll try not to go on because there's a ton of stuff here. But the first thing we picked up was this sealed copy of 007 Quantum of Solace. I paid £2 for it. It is sealed, PlayStation 2 sealed. I don't know how much I can get for it. I'm going to have to look it up, but nice to pick it up. It's brand new, it's sealed. The next thing we picked up was a couple of games. Now, 2 of these are for me to keep. The first one that's not for me to keep is this Borderlands 2, brand new sealed Borderlands 2. Now, I actually sold one for $12.99, so I thought I'd try my luck again. So yeah, nice to pick this up. And then a couple of games for me here. The Italian Job on the PS1. Another PS1 game this week, which is fantastic. And also, this might be a bit weird to you lot, but Agatha Christie's And Then There Were None. I like this type of game, man. I'm a fan of this sort of game, this sort of like murder mystery sort of games. I love the Dark Pictures anthology, stuff like that. These Telltale sort of games I do enjoy. So I picked this up for me. It's only the second Wii game I have in the collection. Let's get into the last game we found this week. I picked this up along with the manga collection. It is a Spyro Shadow Legacy. I paid £2 for it. It's like an £8 game. So yeah, not bad. I threw this in because I was picking up so much. I just wanted to like sweeten the deal. So I just picked this up. So yeah, £8 potentially. So let's get into this collection here. I'm going to fly through it. I don't know the values on all of them. I will tell you if I do. If not, I will try and throw something up to let you guys know. But let's get into it. So the first one is this Naruto Unleashed Complete Series 2. We've got this Fruit Basket Complete Collection. I think this is like a £20-25 box set. This Complete Carnival box set. I'm sure this is like a £15 box set. Kamismakis. I'm sure this is like a £30 box set right here. It's only got like 2-3 discs in it, but I'm sure it's like a £30 box set. I could be wrong. I did look all the values up on all this stuff, and I think it came to just under £200 in value in here. So if I'm getting the values wrong, I'm sorry, but there's definitely about £200 worth of value in here, which is mad. Anyway, let's carry on. Is this a zombie? This one I think is about a £15-20 box set. Oh, there's another thing I found here. I forgot to show you. We've got the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood, the complete series. This is like a £30 box set. We've got this Soul Eater box set here. I'm sure it's still about 18 quid. Another Naruto 3.1, 3.2, 5.1, 4.1, 4.2, 5.2. I know nothing about this stuff. These are between £1 and maybe £3.50 each. The big boy, well, it's big in size. It's this Death Note, the complete series. This is like a £25 box set. This was the one that caught my eye when I saw them all. We've got another Spirited Away. This one isn't brand new, but still, nice to pick that up. I think it's only worth about 3 quid, maybe 4 quid. Could be wrong, I'll have to look it up. We've got this Dramatical Murder. Man, I don't know nothing about this stuff. It was mad weird to me. Let me know in the comments below if this is your cup of tea and if I'm missing out on anything here. Tell me if I'm getting the values all over the shop. But very cool to pick these up. There's a couple more to go now. We've got Bleach Series 4 Part 2. I think this is like the 2 quid, nothing much. Got this Tail Stay Night. Mate, I ain't got a clue. Got this HOTD, High School of the Dead, High School of the Dead. And then this is brand new sealed. It is A Silent Voice, the movie. They sold it for £5 at one point in HMV. Absolutely ridiculous to pick all of these box sets and DVDs up for 14 quid, which is crazy. And there's potentially £200 in value here. Even for trading, there's over 100 quid. This is mad, absolutely mad. And then when I left that place and went back to Swansea, I saw another full collection, the WWE collection. Now, these DVDs didn't have as much value as this lot, so I was a bit more choosy with what I picked up. But I still picked up some cool DVDs here. I'll go through them. We've got The Undertaker, Deadliest Matches. This is like an £8 box set. We've got Bound for Glory 2012. This is like £8 as well. We've got Night of Champions. I think this is like a £6 DVD. We've got Money in the Bank. Maybe £5 or £6 for this one, 2014. And also Destruction of S.H.I.E.L.D. I think this is like an £8 DVD as well. This is crazy. Do not miss out on DVDs, guys. There's definitely value in it if you can find it. Now, I'm not sure how quick all this stuff is going to sell, hopefully really fast, but if it doesn't and I get impatient, I've still got over £100 odd in trade-in value right here for like 17, 18 quid. So if I get impatient, I can trade it all in, but hopefully I'm going to try my luck on it first, trying to sell it on. But yeah, it's so cool to pick all this stuff up. I was blown away when I saw all of them in there. I was like, and then she was actually, I'll tell you the story, you know, to bore you a bit more, but I'll tell you the story. I asked the dude, I said, I'm interested in all of this. How much do you want for it? He calls his boss down and she starts going, oh, how much do they sell this in the shops? How much do they sell this in the shops? And I was like, oh no, they're going to try and price, you know, put this up quite pricey. But the bloke who I was speaking to in the first place, he went, well, we don't price that high, ridiculous prices. We don't price that high. So she started doing 4 for £1, £1.99 for box sets. And I was just like, that's music to my ears, guys. Thank you, mate. If you've ever watched these videos, I don't know your name. You worked in that charity shop in Port Talbot. Appreciate you, mate, because you've done me a right sort there. You've done me a proper favour, telling her not to do ridiculous pricing. So cheers for that, mate. So unfortunately, no N64 games this week, but I am off to Swansea Comic and Gaming Convention on Sunday, the 14th of May. And I know a couple of retro sellers are there, retro vendors. The Retro Stash is there. I love that shop. So hopefully we can find some N64 bangers there. That's my plan anyway. But anyway, guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of all this stuff. As always, if you're enjoying these videos, smash that like button, consider subscribing to the channel, and as always, be rad, stay rad, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.